Imagine a book. Its pages are worn and leather-like. You thumb through it and can't understand a single word written inside. In fact, nobody can. You look at the pictures in the book and they are also peculiar. Just looking at the whole book overall, you can barely decipher whether this book is an actual account or a work of fiction. This is the case of the Voynich Manuscript, a text that has been carbon dated to the early 1400s and bears the markings of the Italian Renaissance. It has no proven author. Its origins and purpose are debated even to this day. Did this belong to an Italian secret society of the Renaissance era? Did some interdimensional being or time travel accidentally drop it? Does it actually belong to a secret civilization? Or could this have been written by Bigfoot? Or maybe, just maybe, it's all just a cruel joke. Let's study more and get to the bottom of this strange tome and find out who made this, why they made it, and most importantly, what the meaning of it is. The Voynich Manuscript. What is this? Well, this old, alleged piece of literature is an illustrated codex, and based on its carbon dating, is approximately 600 years old. It is named after the man who rediscovered the text in 1912, a book dealer named Wilfred M. Voynich. Approximately 240 pages long, each page is roughly 17 by 25 centimeters in size and made of vellum, or calfskin. But what continues to astonish linguistics, codebreakers, cryptographers, and scientists about this artifact, however, is the unknown script, illustrations, and diagrams that decorate the pages of the manuscript. The text and illustrations are colored with various shades of brown, red, and yellow, and the illustrations include pictures of plants, astronomical diagrams, and human figures in various poses. Sorry, none of the figures are dabbing though. 2014 is long gone. Get over it. Some of the plants depicted in the manuscript have been identified as medicinal herbs, while others remain unidentified. Most of the depictions of plants in the text, however, have not been recognized among any known species, so information about them and their function remains a mystery. In addition to this, there are pronounced gaps in the bindings that indicate that the manuscript might have had 272 pages. There is also evidence that the pages were ordered differently in the past, and that the binding and covers are not the original ones. This is just one of the several things that make this book so mysterious and confusing for those who have studied it. Over the years, various theories have been proposed as to what specific content the manuscript contains, ranging from alchemical secrets to scientific information. To understand these theories and the history of the manuscript, we have to go back to some of its first known owners. With what is known about the manuscript, researchers have narrowed down the origins of the book to Europe in the 15th century. Yet one of the first confirmed owners of the book is an alchemist from Prague, Czech Republic, in the 17th century, George Baresch. The one historical record of his owning the book comes from a letter dated back to 1639, which chronicles his personal journey to understand this text by sending copies of the writing to a Jesuit scholar by the name of Athanasius Kircher, who had expertise in hieroglyphics. There are no records confirming what they discussed about the book, but we do know that after Baresch passed away, the book was passed on to his friend Johann Marcus Marci. A letter by Marci to Kircher around 1665, which was still attached to the book at the time of its rediscovery, provides evidence of the book being passed to Kircher at that time. The markings Ex Libris of Petrus Beck X indicated in the book support the book's presence in Kircher's area of study, the Collegio Romano, which is now the Pontifical Gregorian University. It would sit in the university's library until around 1870, when a new Italian government was established upon the invasion of Victor Emmanuel II. At this point, many of the books that belonged to the faculty were given back so that they could avoid being taken away. The book was later found in a private library maintained by a group formerly associated with the Collegio Romano. It contained the letters previously mentioned and was bought along with 29 other books by Wilfred Voynich when a sale was held in 1912. With letters including hints to possible owners and authors, Wilfred Voynich spent years trying to decipher the scripts for himself. Following his death in 1930, the book switched hands until 1969, when it was donated to Yale University Since that time, scholars have endeavored to piece together the history of this book and uncover the meaning of its contents. Letters left in the codex hint at its possible ownership by the King of Bohemia, Rudolf II, an astrologer and mathematician for Queen Elizabeth I, and an imperial distiller named Jacobus Sinapius. Speculated authors include a Franciscan friar named Roger Bacon, Albertus Magnus, and an Italian engineer named Giovanni Fontana, and even Voynich himself. If this is true about Voynich, it is likely that he used his knowledge as an antique book dealer to forge this manuscript. Sadly, there haven't been any conclusive strides in understanding the text as a whole. Though, if we skip ahead to the late 20th and 21st century, there are some of the notes made from previous studies of the manuscript that bring further light to the subject. A 2009 study from the University of Arizona substantiates its dating back to the 15th century. In 2014, a protein test revealed more detail about the calfskin material used in the book, its quality, and noticeable markings from holes, tears, and insect holes. These insect holes were used as a hint to the replacement of the codex's covers, seeing that these markings could have been present only if there was a wooden cover, while the current cover and binding are made of leather. In the end, notes like these are only a drop in the ocean for the amount of research that has gone into breaking down different aspects of the manuscript, down to its ink, paints, retouching of the earlier script, text, writings that are assumed to have been added after its publishing, writing patterns, illustrations, and history. Some hypothesize that the manuscript is an ancient text from another culture, written in a language or code unknown to us. Most of the characters are composed of simple lines, while others are more complex and appear to be abstract representations. Many scholars, including an anthropologist at Foothill College in California, propose that the text contains some kind of shorthand of Roman or Latin. In an effort to decode these images, physicists and other scientists have even applied computer analysis to the manuscript to identify patterns. Other experts like Arthur Tucker, a botanist, have taken to focusing on particular aspects of the manuscript to make their conclusions. He claimed that the plants illustrated in the manuscript are native to the 16th century Americas. Research dedicated to narrow specialties, however, hasn't yielded many results. Since the illustrations and texts span a wide variety of topics, it would be difficult to pick apart the meaning of the text. It requires an interdisciplinary approach. This way, the information on the text, the bindings, the inks used, the handwriting techniques, illustrations, and so on can be evaluated as parts of the whole. There have been many theories proposed on what the Voynich manuscript may be about, ranging from magical texts, herbal recipes, astronomical charts, and astrological diagrams. No conclusions have been reached, and most propositions tend to contradict other researchers' ideas, leading some to wonder whether the artifact is in fact a hoax. Yet, there is something we can learn from seemingly impossible tasks. Greg Kondrakt, a computer scientist at the University of Alberta, together with his student Bradley Hauer, used the Voynich manuscript as an opportunity to create a machine learning algorithm that could decode the manuscript. In doing so, they believe that, as a principle of trial and error, they could use what they have learned and apply it to decoding other texts and solving relevant problems in the future. Whether or not this artifact is a work of fiction, a record of some alien civilization, or an item from our undiscovered past, it'll remain a mystery. For now, the manuscript and its secrets remain at Yale University's Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library. If you want to, you can even view a digital copy of the manuscript online as a result of Yale University publishing it in its Digital Collections Library in 2020. And for more opportunities to explore ancient sites and artifacts like this one, make sure to check out other videos on our channel, where we dive into history to give people, places, and things like the Voynich manuscript the spotlight they deserve. Make sure to like and subscribe, and also hit that bell notification so you can get updates on our newest releases and updates on our latest authentic ancient coin giveaways. We'll see you next time only on Amateur Archaeology.